Why would a team ever go from statements like these?
We've been very high on Trey since the beginning, since day one. I'm glad we feel so good about it, and I'm just pumped to get him here.
In order to get to a certain point in this league, for all quarterbacks, you have to go through some stuff, no matter who it is. I know there's going to be some good. I also know there's going to be some bad.
This is Trey's team, and that's nothing against Jimmy. We made that decision a year ago, and we're going with that, and we're not going to mess around with that anymore.
To a statement like this.
Why give up on a guy who's only 23 years old and only halfway through that contract?
It's a fair question, and it's something we talked a lot about internally. It's not the way everybody works it, but with our system, the number one takes a lot of reps. The number two takes the scout team reps. It's just not a whole lot of opportunity. You know, I heard Kyle talk about it, to get better, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to play to get better.
In less than 3 seasons, and with barely any playing time to evaluate.
You gave Trey Lance 4 starts, right? The 4 starts we seen him, he was running that ball in between the tackles like he was a running back.
This scenario we are talking about is unprecedented. No quarterback drafted in the top 10 in the last 30 plus years has had fewer starts than Trey Lance in their first 3 seasons.
I don't understand why folks seem to want to give Trey Lance the shortest leash of any top 5 pick I've ever seen.
Even some of the most notorious, well-known draft busts like Ryan Leaf, Jamarcus Russell, Johnny Manziel, and Art Schlichter had more starts early in their careers, and most of those players had off-field issues or concerns. Lance did not.
I am not arguing that Trey Lance is awesome. I have no clue.
Welcome back to Unlikely Success. Like, comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into our story today. Trey Lance, a quarterback who was never given a chance. Most quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 picks of the NFL draft are given every opportunity to shine by their team. Some of these quarterbacks fail due to a lack of dedication. Some are placed in bad situations that hinder their development. Others suffer injuries that derail or ruin their careers. In each of these instances, there was a cause and effect. But Lance is unique. He is a highly drafted prospect who never got a chance to prove whether or not he even belonged in the NFL. I mean, 3 first-round picks and a third-rounder for a guy who ends up with the same number of starts as picks traded is a pretty wild scenario. Now that we have given some context, let's take a deeper look at Trey's one-of-a-kind journey. In 2021, when the 49ers made their massive trade with the Dolphins to move from the number 12 pick to the 3rd overall pick, we all wondered, who do they have their eyes on? It was considered to be a deep quarterback class. Trevor Lawrence was locked in at number 1. Zach Wilson was widely speculated as being locked in at number 2, and the 49ers debate would be between Justin Fields, Mac Jones, and Trey Lance, which got steady rotation on most of the sports talk shows.
San Francisco went up to go get either Mac Jones or Trey Lance. I think the reality is that Kyle Shanahan, their head coach, probably loves Mac Jones, and the organization is very much so intrigued by Trey Lance.
Trey was considered to be a raw prospect due to having limited starts at a Division II school, but he had all the physical traits of a star. Calling him raw, though, was generous. He had 99 high school passing attempts and 318 in college. This made for a total of 417 career attempts at throwing in games before he entered the NFL. I don't know what is less than raw, but Trey Lance was that. He was a known developmental project that may take a few years to be NFL ready, but once ready, he could break out as a star, or at least that's what many thought. Mac Jones, on the other hand, was considered to be NFL ready after leading Alabama, but he was also considered to be a high floor, low ceiling type of prospect. Think Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith. They can win you games, but they're not going to win any MVPs. Justin Fields was rarely considered as an option, and likely was ranked lowest by the 49ers. San Fran decided to go with upside, and they took Lance with the 3rd overall pick. This would appear to signal a willingness to spend the time needed to develop an unfinished product and follow a model similar to the Kansas City Chiefs blueprint with Patrick Mahomes. After all, San Francisco was a year removed from Jimmy G leading the team to a Super Bowl as their starting quarterback. This gave them a capable option to lead their talented roster, while also looking toward the future with the young prospect. It appeared to be a perfect fit. Everything rarely works out how we plan it though, and this ride begins after the draft. This has been The Unlikely Success.